Morning, everyone, and welcome to the Laws of Business Breakthrough hosted by Bamal Shaw. How are you doing this morning, Bamal?
Awesome. Fired up. Thank you, Blanca.
That's amazing. So, what are you going to do to get us motivated today? Because, I've been seeing messages all weekend about people feeling burnt out, looking for motivation, looking for fire. What's your advice to them?
The people who are looking for fire, the fire is in them. Motivation, if you think about the word motivation, it's motive plus action. So the motivation happens from the word motive. You need to understand the purpose, the why you want to do something. What's the big why behind every action? Okay. And behind, so think about, whenever you need any motivation, think about your mom. And when I say mom, it's motive, observation, and method.
I like
Okay.
that.
So whenever you need motivation, call your mom.
Haha. Well, I'll tell you, my mom was a firecracker, Bamal. She's not with us anymore, but that woman, whew, she
Right.
was unbelievably energetic. I mean,
Right. And then so when you need to observe, it's not just observing visually what's in front of you, it's observing with your eyes closed. And that is varying different perspective of different scenarios, different people, and observing in your mind because your eyes can only see and your ears can only hear what your mind is looking for.
wait a minute. Seriously?
Yes.
So, what if we don't have a specific goal, then we're not going to see the clues to get us to that goal? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Even if your eyes are wide open, you're not going to see it, even if it's in front of you.
Oh my. Well, I think that's true. I think that's very true. And it's so interesting. For those of you watching, you're watching the Laws of Business Breakthroughs, and thanks for checking in. If you ask an amazing question today, you're going to win a copy of Bamal's book. And I just want you to know I coach with Bamal. He is my business coach, and we had a meeting on Friday. And oof, that meeting just woke me up because you helped me define my vision.
Absolutely. And one of the things we can talk about, one of the things we talked about is independent contractors. That's one of the big things that many businesses make a big mistake on when to hire an independent contractor and when not to hire an independent contractor.
Okay.
And because you learn that from our conversation that just money is not the driving factor for hiring an independent contractor, because if you make that decision just based on money, you will make a big mistake. It works well in certain industries like construction, technology development, project management, medical, and all of those, but it works well because the relationships are already pre-built and they have been there for several years. So it's when you want to hire an independent contractors, the first thing is you want to make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for. So some key things: if you have one-off projects, where projects that are not going to be recurring in revenue, you probably want to look at independent contractors. And for those who have one-off projects, one-off revenue streams, or one-off items that they need to work on, I can build them an independent contractor list. So I've given the link is bit.ly/, independent contractor list. And they can go to that and actually they can get a list of specific independent contractors that they want to work with. The second thing is, instead of finding several independent contractors for each specific item, find one employee that can do the work and that's going to be there. So that's the one thing we discussed. Like if you need someone there on a regular basis to serve your clients, independent contractor is not the answer, because you're going to look bad in front of your clients when you can't deliver. Independent contractors are not obligated to work for you. They're independent. If they want to do it, they will do it. They'll do it at their own time. And if you fail, if you face problems, so that's where, if you need recurring basis, certain staffs, find one person that can do the job of five people. Okay.
Wow.
And we can help you that, we have if the people scan the QR code, there's a link called My Dream Employee, and we will help you find your dream employee. You can use the Process Innovator tool within that as well to help you build a full start to finish dream come true process. So this is the key. Independent contractor, the other thing many businesses make mistake, they don't want to pay taxes. So when someone is working there full time, they say, well, we'll just do the paperwork as independent contractor. Guess what? The IRS has going to hit you big on fines and penalties if you have an individual who only has one contract, and that contract is with you, and
Ooh.
that person is working with you full time.
Oh no.
And full time is considered 30 hours a week. Okay. So if
That's a
you
problem. So
not
even though
40
we'll
hours,
label it as a contractor, the IRS may not agree with that if they were to dig deeper.
yeah. And so if you have someone working 30 hours a week and you say that's the only place they work and they don't have any other place that they go and work, do not do an independent contractor agreement. It will come back and haunt you. And money is a story. Money is a story. It depends on the story you tell yourself. Like, how you want to make money, how you want to generate cash flow, what's the capital. So you want to tell the right story to yourself. You want to say the truth to yourself, and you want to say the truth to the people you work with. And the money that you want to make, what's the motive behind it. So that's key. That's what you want to make sure that you accomplish. So that's on the independent contractor. We had a lot of discussions that you definitely, if you need to have independent contractors, if you're in that kind of a business, then have at least three. And those three are not just backup names that you have. Those three you want to give projects to on a recurring basis, so you can test which one is coming out on a consistent basis fruitfully. So if 2 out of 3 come consistently good on the deliverables, feed them projects, because these independent contractors, they run their business on feeders, meaning that who's feeding me projects, who's feeding me work. And if you're kind of a consistent feeder of projects, they will do the work for you. They will do what you need to get done.
Yeah. So do you are more in favor of an in-person player than a remote
No,
player?
no, no. So here's the whole discussion. There's specific scenarios you would have an independent contractor, and the specific scenarios you would have an employee. So like I mentioned, in your scenario where you needed someone every single day working on 4 different aspects, right, of your graphic design, video, digital marketing, social media, all of that. And if you need someone every day, you're better off with an employee. And in several different areas, an employee that has the skill sets of all those 4 areas. Now, if you need an independent contractor that is one-off, meaning that you have a project once in a while, it's not the same project that happens every single time, then you want to look for an independent contractor, but have at least a 3 or 4 as a list in your backup that you consistently feed them projects. Okay, so you can test their skill sets. And then if you have someone that you use a platform like Fiverr or Elance or anything, then that's fine, because you're not specifically looking for quality, you're looking for just work. Okay, and as long as your work gets done, you're fine, then you're fine.
Okay, that's amazing. It's I would you say that's one of the biggest struggles that everybody faces, how to hire?
Absolutely. If there's a 4-letter word to succeed in business, it's HIRE.
That is definitely a challenge. So anybody out there watching, be sure to ask a question. We want this to be an engaging conversation. As I say, this is an opportunity to have a very expensive conversation right here live. And believe it or not, we're all going through the same issues of hiring, recruiting, marketing, sales. And Bamal is really an authority on creating the strategy, has a lot of different tools. Bamal is the host. He's also the CEO of Rajparth Achievers. And one of the tools he's offering up today is Bitly/independent contractor list. So tell us about this tool. What's it going to do for
So
them?
So people who are looking to build, independent contractors or build their business around independent contractors, they need to have a list of people, specific contacts, specific experience, specific skill sets, that I need these quality independent contractors in my back pocket that I can reach out to when I need to. And if you don't have that specific list, there could be an issue. So what we can do is we can help you build that list with their contact info, and then so you can reach out to them and have them as your backup. So that's what we do. We research. We have a big database of 35 million and 100 million businesses and independent contractors. So you give us what you need, and we'll find those people and get it to you. So that's the tool. And specifically, you mentioned about hiring, which is one of the biggest challenges. One of the things I can say, we have built that system that works better than anyone else. And so if you scan the QR code, there's a link, My Dream Employee, and if you click on that, it will allow you to build your dream come true employee profile.
That's the Bitly My Dream Employee. We'll put that up on the screen in 1 minute. So I have a question with these tools. Is there a cost for the tool for people watching? How do they get access to these tools? Is each tool separately priced?
Right. So there are several tools that are free. If you go to the QR code, and within the QR code, if you scan and link, if you access it, there's free. So My Dream Employee is free.
That's amazing. You guys are getting free tools that Bamala spent hours building.
Right. And so that's something, that's a questionnaire they can use to fill it out. Then we find the dream come true employee for you within a week to 30 days. So some of the tools, you do need to make an investment, because those are tools that you need to invest and learn and how to build. So those are the tools that you do invest, but there are quite a few that are free. If you scan the QR code, there's plenty of tools that are free. And on hiring, another thing I would mention, three words: hire slow, fire fast. So people do the opposite because they hate to let go. I know.
Well, there's a lot of people that feel a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
When they have to let someone go, but sometimes people just outgrow a position.
Right. And also, it's also when you hired them, you didn't do the hiring right. So you should, it's your mistake as well, because it's like you going to a buffet and you eating junk food or fast food, and then you have gas.
Oh, that's so true. I'm telling you, you eat those wrong foods and you're just messed up.
Exactly. Same thing goes with hiring. You hire the wrong people.
Baba, why are you always right? Yesterday, I tried a low-calorie Dorito chip that I got at Costco, and it said it was keto, and it said it was only 4 carbs, and it looked like it was in compliance. It looked like it was the right chip to eat. No good. No good. Gotta stay away from the carbs. That's the bottom line.
So same thing goes with hiring as well. Sometimes, do not hire based on resumes. Okay. So say the experience. Oh, this guy has 20 years of experience. He looks awesome. He's going to bring all this. You hire him and he sits at home and does nothing. And then you wonder what happened.
So what if we don't hire on resume? What's the number one thing we hire on? Our gut instinct or what?
No. So there's a whole process for companies on how to hire step by step. A unique process that we built on companies. Now, there's 2 things. One, we can train you on how to hire, or 2, you can leave the hiring to us, so you don't have to worry about it. So we can bring in the right people, and we also guarantee free replacement. So you don't even have to worry about replacing a team member if
I'm at a point where I've been through this journey, and now I've been in business almost 2 years. And I mean, honestly, the idea of paying you to just handle that sounds like a dream instead of dealing with it yourself. It's so time consuming to interview. So what does that look like financially to get your company to be the recruiter? Is it expensive? Is it a percentage of the employee's income?
So it customized for every position. So depending on certain positions can be a flat fee, and certain positions can be a percentage of salary. So
Oh, cool.
depending on the positions that we need to hire or how many we are hiring, it all depends on that. So
Well, it
each
sounds
customer,
like amazing. So you
yeah,
customize it depending on the
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, depending on the situation, how many people you need, what is the number of positions, what position is needed. Like, for example, for some of the restaurants, they need servers, bartenders, man, like at that level. So we do work with them on a flat fee basis, and
Oh, you
finding them.
do?
Yeah,
Okay. So you help restaurants too, even with that type of staff?
yeah.
Wow. Bamal, you're like an angel from the heavens above. I mean, I tell you, Bamal's helped me a lot. If you haven't connected with Bamal, you really should. And Bamal's also a frequent attendee at the Networking Summit every Tuesday at 11. You can be a part of that. And he's got a lot of amazing tools. So, what can I say? Bamal, host of the Laws of Business Breakthroughs. Thank you for all the wisdom and inspiration you give us every single week. You're amazing.
Thank you, Blanca. Make it a great day.
Have a great day, everybody. Join us next week and bring your questions with you, and let's get fired up. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.